What's going on, guys? It's a hot and sweaty day. Been working on the Impreza. This is the driver's side. Looking pretty good. And the passenger is coming out pretty well. I got a little bit more to do down here. But as I'm waiting for it to dry, I could start on something else. And that is the new bumper. I got this bumper a couple days ago, just in Orangeville. It was about a 40-minute drive. It is used, obviously. But compared to a new bumper, it was a better deal, I guess. So picked it up. And one thing I want to do to it is delete this license plate mount. I thought about doing this like 3 years ago, just never got around doing it. When I got into my original crash, I kept some plastic so I could replace it. I think I took it from like this part of the bumper on my other bumper. So to do that, I picked up a plastic welding gun. We're going to cut out this section, cut a piece that will fit into here, and then use this gun to put little staples to hold everything in place. There's a bunch of little staples here, but never used it. First time. It's going to be interesting. And to cut this out, we're going to use the Dremel. It's probably the easiest tool I can think of to do it, and probably the cleanest to get a cut, but I'll try my best to not make too much of a mess, especially down here, just because there's not a lot of room I could get in there for body work. I'd rather cut up high and then slowly work my way down than cut too low and then try to fill it in, because it'll be a nightmare. But we'll get to it and see what happens, I guess. There's a little bit more down here I gotta take out. I'm just gonna clean this up a little bit more, get it more prepared for get it prepped better when we put the piece in. I do have this fender flare piece for the sides of the bumper, and I was planning on installing this and running it because it would look pretty sweet, all molded up and having like the grill insert here and stuff. But so when I lined it up, it's kind of like this. And it doesn't look too bad, but the thing is, to get this sitting all the way flush up here, like, it's not even touching the bottom. Like, it just does not line up 100%. Like, it's pretty close. It's just, I don't have the time right now to get it to fit. Like, look at the giant gap down there. There's a big gap in here. Like, I know I'd fill it and do a bunch of custom work, and that's fine, but I just, at the end of the day, I just don't have the time to properly do this. And I have a feeling, I just have a feeling over the winter something's going to go wrong. And if I do have to respray this bumper or spray some parts of the car, then yeah, I'd have no problem going through everything and touching it up and fixing it and then giving the parts of the car another spray. Like, that wouldn't really bother me. But for right now, I don't have the time. I want to get the car painted in like a month. So just can't do it. All right, I managed to get it pretty close into there. There's a fairly big gap, but we could fill that in. That's not a problem. There are some edges I do want to just smooth out just before I put this down, just so I make sure it's as flush as possible. I don't mind adding filler. I don't really want to be sitting here taking away plastic just because it's going to make my life a lot more difficult. I think this is going to be a big pain in the ass thinking about it, to be honest, but we'll see, I guess. All right, so this is my first time using a plastic welding gun. It comes with a bunch of different shapes. I'm using one that's kind of like this shaped. And from my understanding, it heats up fast, I read. So I guess you place it and then turn it on. That's pretty far in there. I'm waiting for it to cool down now. Okay. It seems like it does all right. So I'll add another one right here. Trying to figure out a good place. Let's go right here. So I'd say it's pretty far in there. Also trying not to breathe this. It does take a second to dry or harden up or cool down, I guess. Then you can take it out and it's in there. Pretty cool. All right, so I went around. It's really looking like Frankenstein now. I went ham with these little staples. Just kind of, I don't know if this is excessive. I don't know if you should only do a little bit. It just felt right, so I just kept going. The kit came with these little side cutters. Wow, this thing launches. Oh my goodness. So I guess just cut them all off. This thing's like hitting the ceiling. Ow. Alright, so now that's all off. I was looking in the instructions, which this is from China. I'll tell you that right now. The instructions will make like no sense and they're not helpful at all. But it came with 4 biggies of stuff and it came with this shape. And I have no idea, I don't know if you can even see that. I have no idea what this would even be good for. Unless it was to melt plastic together. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Now, I don't really know if this is doing much. Alright, so I'm nearly done this, but I went ahead and melted the edges of the plastic just to help give it a little bit more strength. There was gapping here, so I just added a little bit of plastic that I found on the floor and just kind of melted it in. I don't really think it's going to be the strongest thing, but I think it'll help. I'll probably throw a couple pieces of fiberglass on the back just to kind of help, just scuff it up and throw it down. The other side, I also went ahead and melted everything. So it's ready to go ahead and get sanded down and then throw some body filler on it. Alright guys, I got this side pretty well done. There's a little bit of dust on it, but you know, it happens. So far this is just a couple layers of sandable primer or filler primer. And I'm not really going to bother sanding it down, wet sanding, and putting another layer like I did over there. I'm just going to leave it as is for now until I'm ready to really do that. For the bumper, there's a little dent here that I fixed. I noticed like a little pit like right there. I might just leave it, I don't know. There's going to be it all over the bumper. I don't think I'm going to go for perfection here. I'm just going to kind of get it painted. I did just kind of finish this. It's pretty smooth. It's not perfect, but it's pretty close for what it is, I think. Just this edge, I'm having a hard time getting it round and smooth just because of... It's just a difficult edge to really do. I got this all sanded down. I'm going to leave it like that for now, but I'm going to throw some filler primer on here. See how it looks. I'm really not expecting perfect, which is kind of a shame, but I think for what it is will be good enough. Okay, let it sit like that for a bit. Come over here, I guess. In a bit I'll put another layer, see how it is, but already I think honestly it's good enough. I'll wet sand it, see how it is. It is a used bumper, so it's not going to come out perfect, but honestly, like once you're looking at it from up, you're not really going to see this bottom lip anyways. It's just that the angle I'm at right now, it's very noticeable. But I guess that's how you do license plate delete. And honestly, already I'm loving it. It looks so much better than having the little... It looks so much more better than having that little strip there. It's so much more cleaner. I'm going to utilize this hole anyways for the license plate, but I think it's a keeper. Now this, I might wet sand just to see what's going on. So I'll leave this for a bit and then come back, wet sand it. And I guess go from there.